Switch it up. Here, and this is Grimm's Comics Corner. We are back with The Boys. I know you guys have been waiting a long time for this one, and let's go ahead and get started with Volume 9, The Big Ride. Looks kind of like Batman there, huh? $48 to $59. We're getting very close to the end. Also, a lot of issues in this. Volume 9, The Big Ride. Yep, 48 through 59. That's a lot of issues. 48. Before we have another go at these cunts, let's sort out what went wrong the last time. Proper preparation and planning, part 1. Evict the lamplighter? Colonel Mallory's granddaughters? No, that was the end result. I'm talking about the whole thing. Why what happened, happened. From the moment Raynor gave us the order till we walked into that hangar, saw what was left of the Delta lads. How did we bugger it up? We got lazy. Yeah? Soups we hit up till then weren't shit. I mean, they got the power, but it's kind of like fighting a junkie with a shotgun. Time he figures out the safety, you taking it off him and busted over his head. But the 7, c'est vrai. Nous sommes des soldats. I still have no training, but at a certain level, that advantage disappears. Fighting the 7 is like making war on the sun. I guess we ought to be exact about this. It ain't so much about the 7. It's the Homelander, Maeve, and Black Noir. The other 4 were never in their league. Still ain't. We know what he is planning, more or less. What he has agreed to do for Vought. All of which suggests that he is careful. In execution of these plans, he shows discretion, patience, sense. Yet we know the things he's seen. We know the things he's done. We've seen the pictures. Oh, whoops. I didn't see all this. He says, oh, Lord de la Mer, good point. And I have a question about the Homelander. Then he goes into that. We each of us know all too well what lurks inside that mind. So, how does such a devil learn restraint? We already know he's fucking psychotic. It ain't a real stretch to say he's got some bipolar shit going on, too. One does not always follow from the other, but if it has, should we not know for sure? Huh? Yeah, good point, Frenchie. You look into that one. Sure. 7 tapes what we know of the Toss's history, all that. Go back over the lot of it, see if there's something we missed. Got it. You want to do something for me? Eh? Quit throwing goddamn darts at the wall. Place is a historic building. They don't come more historic than this. You said it was a tip. The day we moved in here, the first thing you said was, it's a classic on the outside and a nightmare on the inside. So what the fuck? That ain't no reason to make it worse. Right, well, I'll go and buy myself a dartboard then. Bloody hell. Thanks, mate. Just like old times. It is. Huey running kind of late, don't you think? Frenchie. Another moment, Monsieur Carcutter. Yeah, buy her an ice cream or something, will you? And then there's... I don't know what that is. Miss Bradley, we meet at last. An absolute pleasure. Thank you. Pleasant flight, I hope. Ah, yes, short. Of course, I understand we're going to be working quite closely together. I do hope I'll have a chance to get to know you better. And how are you, sir? Very well, thank you. What are we doing down here? Well, what's he doing? Come to that. Not sure. Kind of getting on the team? What's going on over there? Flying lesson. He doesn't know how to fly his Noir plane? A detail. Still no word of Starlight? No, she seems to have extended her leave of absence. I'm sorry to hear that. I'd hoped to be kept informed. You're quite right. It won't happen again, I assure you. On a happier note, I can tell you that everything went well with the NYPD visit. Glad to hear it. Yes, I told them that I left the molars at the entrance to I-87. I called for an update, but no one's heard a thing. Do the police suspect, All I know is that the family's been listed as missing persons. I'm starting to fear the worst. Look, I really am sorry you're upset about Starlight. Let me check to see if she's emailed. Then I'll meet you in the lounge. Okay? Get a BlackBerry. He's being helpful. No, it isn't typical, and no, neither was the charm offensive. Huh. It doesn't matter how he acts. All I can think about are those damn photos. I mean, I'm doing my best not to show anything. You're wasting your time then. He can hear your heartbeat. He can hear the neurons firing in your brain. Oh, of course. Are you absolutely certain that you want to work in superhuman development? Because if you're not, this is the time to tell me. No, that's not the idea I wanted to give you. I'm sorry, I was merely remarking on an impression, no more than that. I'm 100% committed. You can rely on me. Glad to hear it. Here's another special little treat for you. You got something you wanna... Oh, act your age for fuck's sake. I don't know what pisses me off the most, the fact that you're doing this or the way you're going about it. All this sarcastic bollocks like one of those cunts on the fucking internet. Tell me something, will you? Since when is that you? Huey's gonna be back. Alchemical was a cock-up. It was my mistake, but it ain't the reason he went walkabout. That was the slapper, whoever she was. I don't know what split him up, and I know he wasn't saying, but whatever it was, he's gonna get over it. Then he'll come home. And listen, one last bleeding time. I did not nick that fucking flask of yours. So you're gonna be alright with this or what? Shit. We sorted then? Hold on. Let's try that. Magic. And look for future reference if you do have some sort of problem. Not in front of the nutters, eh? Got a practical question. Shoot. You said before we have another go. That really what we doing? I don't see how we can't. Frenchie heard the Homelander talking about back in Vought. We know what for. Using the lads they got in the White House to replace Dakota Bob with Vic. Point of which is Soup's is Soup's becoming the military. A Soup coup. Jesus Christ, bloody right. We're having a go. Frenchie said he saw a major fucking powwow going on up above Believe. These are serious numbers we're talking here. 7 are the key. We nobble the big boys. The other cunts will just fall apart. And this is the time we do it? When we are man down? Yeah, well, it don't look like we got much choice. You saw Huey before he fucked off. Did you try and get him to stay? No. I just remember last time. I mean, going up against these motherfuckers. I ain't scared of dying. Fuck that. But the shit they got'll be done in goddamn seconds. All gonna be for nothing. Know what I'm saying? That'd be one to avoid, all right. Which is why I want to go over the... Hello? Monkey? I hope you don't mind me showing myself in. What the fuck are you doing here? Why the fuck are you smiling? Don't worry, she calls everyone that. Quite a character, our Mauve. I do hope you've enjoyed your visit today. If there's anything else you need, please don't hesitate to ask. Okay, you got power. Now you need to bring up the engines. Once you've done that, you're going to set the throttle to idle and lock the wheels. Then you're going to set the thrust vector to 90 degrees, just like I showed you. Then, and only then, you'll open the throttle and level off at about, let's say, 5 feet, okay? Okay? You getting all this? Are you getting any of it? Is he alright? That's kind of the million-dollar question. I've been working with him for 3 days, and I've no idea if he's taken in a word I've said. What the hell are you... No! Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! White Noir, stop! Stop! Don't try and take off! You don't know what you're doing! This is Could somebody help me? Please? Jesus. This is just what we fucking need. Well, there goes my bloody day anyway. Heh heh heh. Oi, who told you could sit down? Director Rayner has announced her intention to resign her position effectively 1 month from today. You what? The Democratic National Committee has contacted her regarding a Senate seat in her home state of Massachusetts. She feels the time has come to serve her country in a new... Fuck off! Rainer can't get into politics. She's got more shit on her than Elton John's cock. She's lucky she ain't up for war crimes after that carry-on in Afghanistan. Pull the other one, monkey. It's got fucking bills on. Obviously, she thinks otherwise. So do the people already planning her first campaign. Watch CNN in 4 weeks' time. Then you'll see who's pulling what. Bollocks. But if she ever does have a go, anyone trying to whitewash the bitch is in for a big surprise. Alright, I'll play along. Who's gonna be taking over when she... No. She wouldn't. She... Oh, fuck. It's only a caretaker position, of course. They're already looking at a number of candidates to take over on a permanent basis. But Dr. Rainer feels that if I apply myself, well, who knows what might happen. To that end, I've decided to make as early a start as possible. With you, not to put too fine a point on it. Upon reviewing your recent records, I've noticed that you don't really seem to have submitted any, or not enough to form a coherent picture anyway. I'm seeing plenty of expenses claims, of course, the occasional after-action report. What I'm not seeing at all are your accounts. Motherfucker. Large sums of money regularly go out on the bags of somewhat scant justification from your end. With that in mind, I've drafted these claims forms for future operations. Simple, clear, easy to read and use, and thoroughly comprehensive. So comprehensive, in fact, that I'd also like to see backdated forms for all of your activities since... Monkey. All bullshit aside, you ain't too pleased with the paperwork up till now, fair enough, but I guarantee you're gonna want to read the next bit. Director Kessler. What? Director Kessler. Director Kessler. No? Can't manage it? Not even a little one? Well, I'll leave you to work on that, and on these, of course. I have a train to catch. I'm a broken fucking man. Be strong. He's strong, so you're strong. Only way. Jesus. That would certainly be a start. Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Everyone involved, every name on every sign-off. Please do. So, the aircraft was bought surplus by Red River after seeing service in Pakistan. Reconditioned just like the one before it. Unfortunately, incredibly, no one thought to check the cannon armament, which still contained live ammunition from operations flown in combat. But if it was reconditioned, it was refueled. I suspect that anything else would have been a bonus. I've ordered another as well as a replacement instructor. Hopefully someone who can do the job. You really think it was his fault? Don't you? How is anyone supposed to explain piloting a complex fighter jet to Black Noir? And if he takes it into his head to start scribbling around and pressing whatever switches he likes the look of, who's going to stop him? Armed or unarmed, a plane like that is potentially lethal. I don't know why you would want to let him loose with it in the first place. You've read the same PR requests that I have, and Victory are always pushing for it. Every time he flies into some event on the Deep's back, they have to field innumerate queries about the plane in the comics. There's merchandising, there's the superpower and defense angle, which I hope will yield appropriate dividends. Otherwise, it's a lot of expense to satisfy the neat and tidy minds of geeks. And all of this assumes that, if I'm exceeding my... Go on, you may as well. Well, we're assuming that it can actually be done. Then it can be taught to fly. Throwing money at a problem isn't like a magic spell. There are some things that simply can't be made to work. I agree completely, as a matter of fact. When we get back, contact Red River and cancel my request for both aircraft and pilot. Very good. After you, Miss Bradley. I've been thinking. I wonder if you and I should go away quite soon. Sometimes I fear the boys are on a path that... Well, wherever they go, the life is bad for you. Supes or gangsters, the nature of the target does not matter. To indulge the fury in your heart is bad for you. You are a human being, not a weapon, and you are not respected as you should be. Nor am I. We should go away, somewhere far and honest, under the sky, and if that need arises in you, there is me. I am strong. Perhaps I can endure, that others do not suffer. That one day, who can tell, the storm might pass for good. No? No. Merci, mademoiselle. Merci. Next, King of Hell. Okay. Give me just a moment. Alright, let me check. Levels are good. Yep, should be okay. Alright, we're good to go. I just realized I can do that now. I can totally just push a button if I don't want you guys to hear me cough or sneeze or blow my nose or something. That's actually useful. I should use that more. Alright, 49. People are toys. They're toys, and they're there for my amusement, and there's not a thing more to them than that. Proper preparation and planning, part 2. Why tell me? What? You sound like you're trying to convince yourself of something. Meaning? Well, I'm no expert, but would a demigod beyond the pathetic morality of man really feel the need to declare it to a mirror? I shot down an airliner. I sent 200 people to their doom. I dropped that family into the ocean like they were toys, yes, as you said. That is what I said. I know, I heard you. Toys for your amusement, all that. Then would you mind telling me what that looks for? Are you scared? Of discovery and punishment? Of what it means you are? Of the notion by any sane measure of morality that you've done something catastrophic? No, no. I have a theory of my own if you're interested. I think you're trying to impress Daddy. What? Oh, yes. Whatever can I mean? What the hell are you? No. You pout. You posture. Sometimes you score a point or two, but it never seems to make any difference. He just won't truly acknowledge you, will he? Unless he needs something from you, like with Vic at Herogasm, and then you're an adult for 5 whole minutes. But on the whole, it's one long cringe of a memory. He leaves. You realize what you should have said 5 minutes later. Just like a kid with a parent. That's you. The jet, the molars, everything I'm planning. That's all just to impress him? In a way, maybe. Bet you didn't know I was capable. You were certainly very accommodating with him yesterday, weren't you? Well, now, you really are reaching. A fool could see I was putting him at ease. I was playing the simplest of roles. Well, I think we both know it's one you excel at. You get 5-star reviews season after season, really inhabiting the part in finest tradition of the method. Bravo! Fucking yes, go on. That's what sane men do, right? Punch their reflection in a mirror. Merde. Alright, so where the fuck are they? Hello? Wonderful, they pissed off. Special Forces team does not leave without orders. They were supposed to deploy back here, watch us out on the ice. This place flooded or something, and what is up with that goddamn smell? Oh, mon Dieu. Monsieur Mallory, la femme est alert. I can't speak French, guys, I'm sorry. I believe that we are standing in them. Alright, someone find the fucking lights. Oh, okay. I know who these are. Alright, someone find the fucking light switch. That's alright, we've got it. What do you say we get down to business? Penny for your shit. Just thinking about Monkey and his bloody forms. Page 89. Nice one. Could use the VA password for today. Might make the difference with this Homelander shit. I'll give the legend a bell myself. He ain't as fond of you as he used to be. What I figured. Now this jet, stop it. And this family, stop it. These things you're so proud of. How come you can remember doing them, but not the things you're doing in Butcher's photos? And come to that, about this wife of his. Oh, you figured out you did something. You're responsible for her death. But for the life of you, can't work out how. You've been racking your brain about that one, haven't you? I am telling you to stop. This is stupid. I'm not mad. What am I going to do next? Invent a special evil voice for the parts I don't like hearing? I must speak to Monsieur Carcuter. Will you come too? Considering the subject matter, I'd be glad of the moral support. Very well then, I'll be rational. The pictures. Once you investigate this plan of yours, what are you going to do when Butcher shows them to the world? Well, at that point, it'll be too late, won't he? I'll be king of hell. Your directive to monitor them constantly is paying off. Reviewing the tapes we might not have known until tomorrow. So why ain't you still at it then, monsieur? Well, you ain't watching them now, are you? How do you know they ain't up to something right this minute? I thought you'd want to know at once. So leave her to keep an eye on them for you. Come on, Frenchie, show a bit of initiative, son. As you wish. I gotta go to D.C. for a couple of days. You alright holding the fort on your own? Sure. How's it going anyway? You found anything tasty? Might have done. How so? Jess Bradley, our friend's new deputy. Piece of shit. Search I did in the time I had. Most recent thing comes up as an email she sent Red River, canceling a request for Black Noir's new AV-8. First email in the chain, so the original request must have been made by phone. Red River come back again, asking for confirmation. In light of incident this 1344, she confirms. So, Dickhead Ben's another Harrier, but this time they're fixing it themselves. Email also mentions a replacement instructor. Request canceled. Cancellation confirmed. I used to have this. No, I don't see it. It might be here. Ah, there we go. One more second, guys. And we're good. So, they think he needs to brush up on his flying. Then they change their minds. Replacement? Who for? Replacement? Who for? I don't know, the first bloke. Who quits cause Black Noir is a fucking hopeless cunt. Then why cancel the new instructor? How does a dude been flying over 30 years need instruction anyhow? Sounds a bit thin to me, mate. Got two separate ident codes on the priority classification. JB022, gotta be Bradley. Other is FS000. It don't mean shit. It don't mean shit. But it shows up in other VOT communications, and the subject is the same each time. I'm gonna know who it belongs to. Then your money's on Black Noir? Motherfucker got me curious is all. Be seeing you. But this is your office. It was. So you mean it's mine? It is. With extra responsibility comes seniority and a better view. Extra, are you? Oh no, sorry, of course not. You'll be taking on more of the day-to-day running of things. You'll still be based here. You'll still report to me, but you'll have greater autonomy when it comes to making decisions. I believe you're ready. I believe you think so too, so we can probably dispense with the next 30-something seconds of conversation. My responsibilities would be what yours are now? Very much so. Keep an eye on the teams. I need hardly tell you which one and which individual in particular. Everybody else has been very quiet since payback. Keep an eye on creative exploration. In a way, they're the backbone, but if ever an office needed the wheat sorted from the chaff, it's that one. I would say you should keep an eye on Brewster. But blind him with science? Of course, if you really wanted to impress, you could try solving the one conundrum no one's been able to yet. Butcher and company. You never can tell. Well, so, where will you be while I'm D.C.? Of course, I expect I'll still see you from time to time. Can't imagine why not. Excuse me, but why does that man have that? Homeland Security, ma'am. That's all I'm authorized to say. All right there, mate? You sat the last one out, didn't you, son? Yeah, I left you behind. Maybe I had a feeling, even then. What the fuck do you mean, maybe, maybe not? I mean, we don't want to rush into... What are you waiting for, bleeding sigh from on high? This is it. It's certainly what it looks like, I'll grant you that. I'll tell you what it looks like. The fucking go at the cunt you said I was guaranteed. 15 years I've been breaking legs for you. Do you think it was just for the good old me health? Oh, excuse me. We'll try that one again. 15 years I've been breaking legs for you. Do you think that was just for the good of me health? Of course not. Glad to hear it, 'cause this ain't no fucking time to bottle out. You of all people should know me better than that. And you of all people should know what this bloody means to me. Now let's knock this bollocks on the head and get down to business, eh? We've got the go-ahead from Rayner. Your bloke all but named the date for 9/11, but he still had to fall on his sword because of the bridge, didn't he? Well, that was down to the suits, and now that Mob's confirmed it, the company's well and truly out for blood. We're sorted. I'm not even Director Rayner's biggest fan, remember? She's an evil fucking cunt. But I, for one, believe she'll back us. Look, the Homelander's had them holiday staffs for 3 years now. He knows somebody's onto him. He's got to be paranoid as fuck, and this is the perfect time to start turning the screw. I know you have every reason to despise the Homelander, but don't let that blind you to just how dangerous he is. I'd be a lot more confident if I thought you were taking this more seriously. And we still don't know who sent the CIA those pictures in the first place. Don't forget. Well, I'd say we worry about that one later. Really? And you don't have to worry about me taking this seriously. Believe me. Good. Do you remember what you said to me a couple of days ago? Regarding... Let me make sure we are recording. We are. You was talking about all the stuff that's happened since last September. The Patriot Act and the media sticking their tongues up Dakota's boss's arse and everyone being afraid to have a go at the White House. You said you were there and excuse me. You said there are times when it doesn't feel like America. Well, what we're talking about here is the day it all went wrong. The day black turned white and up turned down. Like that poor fucking pilot on the NORAD tape. I blew a plane load of Americans out of the sky. If we let this one through, it was for nothing. And they did. And it was. Don't you want to make someone answer for all of that? So how do you think we should go about it? Get in touch with the Homelander. Tell him we know what happened on United 175. Tell him we're the people sent the photos. We think it's time to talk. We meet the 7. We let them get a look at us just so they know there's someone watching. And this mob the other soups go on about are real. We tell them someone's getting thrown to the wolves for 9/11. We decide tomorrow. Oh, they said 9/11. Remember, I think it was, what, 8/10 or 9/10? I think they changed it. Or you decide today. And you think they'll choose the Homelander? They will once they get a load of them bleeding photos. If you think I or Mother's Milk or anybody else is going to be at ground zero when he realizes he's... Well, no, we ain't going to do it like that, are we? I mean, the first thing they're going to ask us is why they shouldn't just fillet us there and then. And we're going to say, ask him. Meaning the Homelander. Exactly. And he's going to know what we mean, so he'll shut his trap on the spot. He'll twig we've got copies of the pics straight away. Oh, what he won't know is we've already sent a set to Vought. So they go home, confirm with Vought, and a mutual decision will be made to give him up, by which stage we'll be miles away. And if he bucks, that ain't our problem. But I doubt he will. Think about the choice they'll give him when it comes to going public. You either bollocksed up a solo effort to stop that plane getting through, because you're a well-intentioned dickhead who was out of his depth, or you're a full-on maniac who fucked a baby in half, and here's a couple of visual aids to prove it. And then they put him out to pasture. Who knows? Maybe whoever called the fighters off gets nervous and Vought have to pull the plug completely. I doubt they've got a cunt like that walking around without a way to drop him if it comes to it. And even if they don't, I'll find one sooner or later. Don't forget that if they decide to take the meeting at all, they'll be briefed by Vought beforehand. Very thoroughly indeed, I'd imagine. And then there's the wild card no one ever foresees. That might not go the way you're scripting it at all. When does it? Okay. Is that it? It is. Excuse me. Let's try that one again. Is that it? It is. Then we're going to leave now. You'll know our decision soon enough. Wait a minute. What the fuck is this? Who are these pricks? Who do they think they can treat us like this? And what did that mean, that shit about asking you? Lamplighter, let's just... Fuck that shit. I got my fucking ribs caved in that day. I nearly died up there trying to stop that goddamn plane. And you're telling me these nobodies, these fucking cocksucking nobodies, they get to use that to fuck with us? You should control this, man. What? Unfucking clench. Indeed. Two things I forgot, mate. When it comes to Vater, any corporate outfit, really, all that counts to them is profit. They send their kids on planes built by the lowest bidder. They travel in the fucking things themselves. Company, jets, or first class, they still go on them. Safety costs. Money's God. So if you do get sent proof that your number one earner's mad as arseholes, you don't do nothing till you've got no choice at all. You hang on. You keep him earning. What's suicide to anyone else is good business sense to lads like them. The second thing I forgot was Mallory. Excuse me. The second thing I forgot was what Mallory said about the wild card. The hell with it. Ah! Fucking asshole, stupid prick. Ah! Where the fuck is he? Oh, Jesus. Oh, man, let him go. Let him what? He just needs to go and scream and be a fucking bitch for a while. Forget him. The pain he's been in these last few months. Who the fuck knows how many meds he's on? He'll come back tomorrow and he'll eat all the shit you want him to. Now, can we please just go home? Next. Armistice. 50. They were 12! Proper preparation and planning. Part 3. They didn't even get to live. That animal just slaughtered them. And all you can say is, now I know how high the stakes are? Que si. Fucking Lamplighter followed us yesterday. Followed Mallory. Daughter's in town with the twins. None. Staying at the Pierre. Colonel took his daughter to dinner. Left the kids in the room. Son of a bitch just burned him alive. Mallory saw him flying away. Will the three of you please give us a minute? Let them stay. They deserve to know what's on their boss's mind. Deserve to know if he's still fit for command. What? What do you know about command? You were a buck private. You never held rank of any kind. Oh, but if it comes to it, I'm a fucking general, mate. A general? I let you talk me into making contact with that vermin, into admitting we sent those atrocious pictures, and you let yourself get followed. And yeah, now you know what it's like to lose someone. Don't. I let you away with the first one because you're upset. I do the same to you and I'll take your fucking head off. You lost someone you really care about. Don't give me any of that old bollocks about your battalion. I've seen enough officers crying crocodile tears about the lads they used as cannon fodder. No, you said I talked you into it, but how hard did you really make me work? You was always so sure the Lamplighter was the weak link. You said he was a pussy compared to the rest of them, the way you used to carry on. You couldn't wait to get stuck into the 7. Raynor gave us the nod. I followed your lead. And now the moment's here, Colonel. So, are you still as keen as you used to be? The last time I let a man talk to me like that. The legend. Mauve. Butcher, you're with me. The rest of you stand by. I think you've shaken something loose. They've sent over somebody new. We've never seen him before. I think he's from Edgar's office, but he showed up half an hour after we called it in. Called what in? The lamplighter coming back last night, laughing like a fucking maniac. Did you know what he was? No, he blinded us with a stupid fucking lamp thing. We all thought he was going off to have a tantrum. What I'm trying to tell you is Vought have never been there this hands-on. Even when you did whatever it was that got the Homelander moving, he called them. They just told us to meet you and report back. No one actually came to see us. But someone has now, believe me. He walked in, sat down, told us to tell all of it. Excuse me, try that one again. He walked in, sat down, told us to tell him all of it. Told us he's calm, he's polite, he said everything's going to be all right. The way he said it, it was like a bus conductor announcing the final solution. The words are mundane, but the meaning. You know what the lamplighter did? We got it out of him. You know what he did? To put the wind up the home. Excuse me. Let's try that. Let's try that one again. To put the wind up the Homelander in the first place? At the time, I thought it had to do with 9/11, but you obviously got something else. Feel free to keep it to yourselves. Vought said we had to go with him. One mention of that fucking day, and we shut up and got moving. When I saw the two of you standing there, I thought I was going to puke. They ain't interested in you, kid. Really? So how exactly will everything be all right? Look, no one knew what the lamplighter had in mind, and I think they want to make that up to you. Come again? Whatever you have, they seem to want to avoid a confrontation. There was something about establishing a status quo, living with it, then working on it. Guess that's what we do. Speak for yourself. You're saying they want to make a deal. What could they put on the table? I don't know, but I suggest you take it. That's what I came down here to tell you. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah. 6 or 7 months ago, everything made sense. Sometimes it was shitty, but even the shit was small and stupid and livable with. And then in one single day, it all went to hell. Everything changed, and now you pop up and throw this in our faces, and it feels like we're never going to hit bottom. Think about what could happen, about the kind of people they are. If you say no to whatever, they come up with, who on the goddamn planet won't get fucked? All that sounds like to me is you want to go back to your nice quiet lap of luxury. Oh, Jesus, do you think I'm going to argue with you? You know why I'm not worried about the 7 asking where I am tonight? Because they think I'm a drunk. Because I am a drunk. I come and go all the time. That fucking plane. Once the passengers knew they weren't getting out, they tried to keep me aboard. To drag me down into the dark with them. Hands, just dozens of hands, hanging on to me. I had to fly through the crowd at the door. And when I was out, they were all over me like paste. So now I drink all the time. And I'm going to be drinking even more if that son of a bitch is dropping in on us and I have to look in his eyes. You're talking about us like we're some kind of ultimate enemy. But you ought to be talking about him. I hate this shit. I just want to live inside myself. Sis just like a thing. I did not notice when we arrived. Vought bought it from the Air Force. Excuse me, we'll try that again. Vought bought it from the Air Force after it got closed down. Used to be a transport hub for flights crossing the pole. Ain't much sign they've been using it since. 3 fucking hours standing there with the bullets frozen off us. Wherever they are, the 7 must be pissing themselves. Anyone see any sign of Delta? Probably having a brew up. They may as well be for all the use they are. Rayner suggested them and I agreed. If a couple of Red River squads had shown up, you'd have found out what use they can be in no time. Alright, so where the fuck are they? Hello? Wonderful, they've pissed off. Special Forces platoon does not pull out without orders. They were supposed to deploy back here, watch us out on the ice. This place flooded or something? And what the fuck is that goddamn smell? Oh mon Dieu, Monsieur Mallory, la femme is in état de la terre, I believe that we are standing in them. Alright, someone find the fucking light switch. What do you say we get down to business? It's a fucking plane. You did this. You could barely cope with a half a dozen ragheads on that plane, and you're trying to say you did this mob without them firing a shot? Well, we learned a lesson from that little episode. Noise was certainly a concern, yes, with you barely a mile away out there. So we had Red River use nerve gas first. And after that it was easy. Well, not easy exactly. There was a certain degree of physical effort, but you gave us plenty of time. You savages. Just me, actually. Solo effort. But the others definitely played their part. They did an excellent job of holding my uniform for me. You're talking like you come up with this yourself. Not important. We're making a point. We're helping you see. You know the truth about September. You have other material, but you should understand that. All will only take you. Let's try that one again, guys. But you should understand that all that will only take you so far. Never mind the certainty of your own deaths. Look at what you're standing in, and then extrapolate. That said, an irreversible degree of turmoil profits no one. What we're suggesting is a mutual retreat from the brink. Vought American are prepared to suspend their program of superpower and national defense on a temporary basis. They acknowledge that the concept needs some further thought. Goddamn right it does. Also, Colonel Mallory, you suffered a personal tragedy in the aircraft behind you as an item of compensation. You know what I hate? Somewhere it won't wash up if you don't mind. I think I can hear your ride home. Problem? Wow. Are you making a fucking speech? How's your daughter doing? Well, if she ever does talk to me again, I don't think it'll be to me. Excuse me, we'll try that one again. That wasn't what he said. Well, if she ever does talk again, I don't think it'll be to me. Something else you can chalk up to the fuckers. Right, well, MM's been looking at... Raynor called me this morning. Our funding's been pulled. She fucking what? It didn't come from her. The president is concerned that things went too far, or very nearly did at least. I think the pressure's been brought to bear. A CIA-backed unit charged with superhuman surveillance is a liability to him, especially with a Vought American man in the VP's office. For the moment, he has to be seen to proceed with caution. How hard did you fight this? I'm done. You're done? Yes. So you got what you were after. They let you put a bullet in someone, and that's it? Fuck me and the rest of them. You're sorted. I shot a man, and it felt as pointless as it always did. I tried to make it into something about justice, but come on. I've been walking down this road since 1944. Kim and Kara died last week. Do you really think that's what burned me out? It all mounts up. It's 100,000 things. Dakota Bob's out of his mind if he thinks the bastards will stop here. Well, maybe one day he'll realize he has to fight. Maybe then you'll get the call, but I'm... done. Oh, we'll try that one again. That was the wrong... Well, maybe one day he'll realize he has to fight. Maybe then you'll get the call. But I'm done. Yeah, you said that. 15 fucking years since you told me I'd have that cunt in my sights. And there he was, not 2 foot away. He would have killed you. There's a part of me that wouldn't have given a fuck. Just to spend 1 second with me hands around his neck, that would have been... Instead, we end up making proxy fucking deals. Poxy fucking deals. Ah, shit. I was never gonna get a go at him, was I? What? You knew they'd never have the bullocks for it, to really take on Vought. What's a dickhead like me next to the greatest soup that ever lived? The most expensive fucking asset of the biggest corporation in the world? You knew what I'd lost, but you stood in that cell and you still... All you wanted was a pit bull, wasn't it? Fuck off. Fuck off or I'll bury you next to them 2 little girls. Butcher? You said you wouldn't have cared if he'd killed you. What about us? Excuse me, what about us? He lost his bottle, didn't he, Tara? Oh, Mallory. He lost his bottle and the boys just fell to pieces. If you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. That's the fucking lesson there. Watergate Hotel. Please, mate. No pets. Nah, he's a guide dog. What do you call it, a C&I dog? You ain't blind. Well, they gave him the night off, didn't they? Here. Mallory. We sorted then? Magic. Oh, you sneaky fucking cunt. Next. Monkey magic. 51. This might actually take 3 days to read. Like, I'll probably read a little more in June and then July, but it's a long book. How's the Pinois? Rancid. How's Pakistan? See above. The government's just about holding it together. Obviously, they're not too popular for letting us go hunting in the north, but we make it worth their while. I know. I've seen the checks. You have to hand it to the president. It's a brilliant idea. Pay them to let us invade. And all these undesirables we spirit away to Alaska. That doesn't hurt the relationship either. Enemy combatant. That's a pretty big net, isn't it? Out of sight, out of mind. The genuine article does tend to make it across to Afghanistan in irritatingly large numbers. But I think staying out was the right decision. That place just swallows armies. In that case, the notion of Iraq must give you a special little tingle. Come on, that was never on the cards, was it? Our other host was very keen for a while, or his keepers were, at any rate. Yes, I'm sure they were capes over Baghdad. By the way, I have a question. Why all this for that? Ah. Well, it would appear their ranks are swelling, and this might amuse you. It's your adventure in the land of the IED that's largely responsible. Oh, of course, advances in battlefield medicine. That's the phrase I keep hearing. I see some of these trunks with heads being carried off the medevacs, and I can't help thinking, well, I'm not sure of the exact figures, but I believe they're now somewhere between a cross-section and a community. So when a particularly pretty one pops up in an election year. I was wondering why I'd been invited tonight, but it's starting to make a kind of wretched sense. Are you aware there's a movement afoot to let them into the services? What? Women and homos, I just about get. Hell, I can even make use of them, so long as they can carry a rifle. But this is insanity. Dakota Bob does it again. 2 birds with 1 goddamn stone. What was wrong with good old recycled Maryland Hill trash? All right. Don't worry, sunshine, not your turn. Smaller fish to fry tonight. Miss Brand? Yes? Can I help you? Oh, I think so. Yes, I think so. My name's Director Kessler. I'm a very important man. I'm sorry, Director of what? I've always admired you from afar. Pardon me? I saw you in Moscow. Oh, yes, I watched you take the gold in Singapore. I watched you at the party tonight, and I knew this was meant to be. Being so close to you at last, I just can't fight it any longer. It's destiny. Yeah, hey! What the hell do you think you're... I want to make love to your little broken body. What? I want to lick the pus from your bed sores. Don't have bed sores. God, what kind of crazy person are you anyway? There's a man, he kicked me so much and my junk doesn't work. That's how I understand you, darling. That's how I know your pain. That's why I have to use this. But we'll overcome it, Nikki. We do it together, won't we? God, you've already overcome so much. Blah! Blah! You disgusting little reptile. I'll show you what. Hello? I said I wanted Hotel 6. That's all right, ma'am. That's all right, ma'am. I heard Ray's voices. What seems to be the trouble? He was? My God. Coincidence, actually, because I'm looking at his profile right now. What there is of it. No, we never had much luck in that regard. MI5 must have moved at the speed of light. I'm guessing that the file was sealed the instant Mallory called them back. Probably handed it over along with the subject. Glad to see the back of both. I would imagine the same thing happened with Campbell as soon as Butcher took an interest. It's not a million miles from the way our response teams operate, is it? Once they get the scramble order, and the objective's the same, too. It's all about recruitment. It occurs to me that we should pay more attention to the survivors of some of these incidents. If we'd kept an eye on Campbell after the thing with A-Train, we might have saved ourselves a lot of trouble. That is an excellent point, and I suggest you implement a procedure. But what about right now? Yes, sorry. The CIA files must be hard copies. Not one single attempt on their mainframe has come up with anything. Kawanishi, we can't even get at. They can't afford a proper firewall. And the Frenchman? Well, there's no evidence of a catastrophe in his background at all. It's almost as if they stumbled across him by accident. The only one we do have a file on, courtesy of his father's various lawyers, We discounted action against his mother some time ago. A glance at the lamplighter's webcam should tell you why. You're still covering old ground, by the way. I know. Alright, here it is. You said that no one's ever managed to solve the problem of the boys, and so they and the Seven have remained locked into their truce. What I'm wondering is, why don't we simply use them on each other? Hello? I'm listening. You said that once the next stage has been achieved, we can do away with the colorful costume stuff. So what you're envisaging is a time where we don't need the Seven, which is still some way off. Hear me out. I had Kent's people write a simulation program for me. I haven't run it yet. It hypothesizes a conflict between the Seven and the boys. Points are awarded not just for each combatant's physical strength, but also for intelligence, resourcefulness according to what we've seen in the past, experience in tactics, and so on. The latter aspects being where Butcher's people score highest, of course. You see, to put it in the crudest terms, we already know who will win in a fight. What this will tell us is the probable outcome of the confrontation we're actually likely to see. Points makes it sound like some kind of role-playing game. I thought the geek mindset was not one to be indulged. It has its place. Look, I really believe this is worth doing. The program is exhaustively comprehensive. Alright, run it. Glad to see you're already making the most of your autonomy, Miss Bradley. Good night. Huh. Bloody hell. Monkey! Jesus, what a state to get into, I mean. She said she restrained you. I didn't think she tied you down with your fronts around your ankles and stuck a dildo up your arse. Is she... Relax, son. I managed to calm her down, put on me crap Yank accent, and flashed her me ID, told her I was Secret Service. She's in the bar having a brandy. Don't worry, it's on me. You're bloody lucky. I chanced by, really. If this ever got out, well, I dread to think what happened. What'd you tell her? I said you're a Republican senator's brother who's off his meds. You keep getting into trouble and the family has to cover it up. Broke your mum's heart, you have. I mentioned they never done praying for you. That always goes down well with the red staters. Liberal media would love this. Administration could take a serious hit. Wasn't half bad if I say so myself. I'll send you the tape for a listen. Oh, God. What do I have to do? Well, let's get rid of this before we go any further. Oh! There. You're going to be a good little CIA director, ain't you? There's not going to be any more old bullocks about expenses or any of that. Okay? And you ain't going to come into my office and try and make a cunt of me again. That's a definite no-no, monkey. That really did piss me off. As a matter of fact, just while I've got you. Terror? Woof! Terror, mate. Fuck it. Evening, Raynor. Oh, he said, evening, Raynor. What the fuck are you doing? Ah, you know, just in town for some fun and games. But that's always has to stop sooner or later. Then you gotta get down to serious business. You get out of my office right now or I'll shoot you fucking dead. Bit extreme, innit? Fuck you. Mind you, moving monkey up just to piss me off, God alone knows what you're capable of. Fuck you, you evil cocksucker. The last time you came here, you said you'd kill my children. I'm gonna count to 5, and if you're not gone by then, I swear to Christ I will empty this goddamn thing. There's trouble coming. I don't know if it's VOD or the soups together or separate, but it's coming. VOD have Red River people inside the security detail. Dakota Bob don't know who's who, and he ain't done nothing for the same reason you're so fucking paralyzed. He don't want to set off a confrontation. Homelander's been talking to people too, stirring the shit, gathering the claws. Think it might be time that you and Bob face facts? I'll be gone in less than a month. So I'll have the Eastern Seaboard if these cunts have to be stopped the hard way. Come on. No? The G-men were one thing. Imagine every soup coming at you at once in a coordinated attack. Power on, shields up, all that bollocks. No element of surprise on this one, Raynor. How far is DU ammo likely to take you then? Now, we all know Compound V boosts brain chemistry. That's what gives the suits control of their abilities. The exact details ain't so well known, but what it comes down to is increasing the strength of the neurons and, as it turns out, the signal they give off when they fire, to the point that they can be detected, homed in on, by a radar-guided missile if you adapt it properly. The sort of thing you might stick under an F-16. How the hell do you know this? Jonah Vogelbaum noticed it originally. A lot more work's been done since then. By whom? Why are you giving this to me? Well, you pass it on to the Air Force in time for them to get tooled up for. Whatever it is, you're going to have a lot of mates when you make your run for the Senate. I'm going to need you wherever you end up, which, let's face it, ain't ever going to be far from the driving seat. I mean, how much use is Monkey gonna really be to me, really? You told me. Come on, I was royally fucked off, but I ain't gonna kill anyone's kids. That's your game, remember? What? This, it makes sense in as much as I'm able to follow the technical jargon. I suppose you're not gonna tell me how you got it. No. Okay. About Afghanistan. First day we met. Excuse me, we'll try that one again. The day we first met, when news of the airstrikes was coming in. I think you may have mistaken simple relief for actual euphoria. You were right that we had the B-52s cross the border. We gave them specific targets outside the war zone in Pakistan. What you might not know is that 15 years earlier, I'd been in those self-same places. I was a field officer then. God, I wasn't even that long out of Cornell. I won't say what I was doing in the Cornegall Valley, but my team visited quite a few of the villages. I wore my burqa, talked to the wives, and played with the kids. The looks they gave me, a woman with an AKSU over her shoulder. I felt like fucking Calamity Jane. Jesus, those kids were amazing. You know, given our Muslim brothers' propensity for sticking it into young pussy, the strikes I ordered probably took out the children of the children I held. But the fact is, we do dirty work to keep the world clean. We take that burden on ourselves, and we expect no thanks. And if we're to go on doing that, if we're to put ourselves in places where we can do the most good, we can't have arrangements from the past coming back to compromise us. So we clean house, and we rationalize it. I freely admit that. We compartmentalize it in our minds as faraway brown people. Yes, it's how everyone deals with the things that happen. Because of us being there. A suicide bomber drives into market. Some Marine gets scared he's next, so he cuts a school bus in half with a 50 cal. Time to go, mate. You once told me we deserved each other. No one deserves me, love. Probably best if you stick to the phone from now on. Or email. What? Oh, come on. Langley's one thing, but you ain't gonna want the likes of me dropping by when you're on Capitol Hill, are you? Come on, Tara. Off we go, mate. Do you have to go? Right this moment, I mean? Nah. Suppose not. After all, what's the rush, eh? 2. The intention was to utilize up to 4 audio devices and 2 video. In the event, none of these was successfully in place, or if they were in place, successfully activated. No signal was ever received from any of the devices. Interrogation of the personnel concerned was not possible. The first indication of mission failure came when Operative B landed on the car of Team 2, surveillance backup, after a 10-story drop following presumed defenestration. Death was later concluded by autopsy to have been instantaneous. The other operatives of one team, entry and placement, were not heard from again, nor has any trace of them been found since the mission. It is important to note that Team 2's operatives received no transmission from Team 1 after the initial entry, suggesting that the critical point in the mission timeline occurred suddenly and without warning. During debriefing, Operative E of Team 2 pointed out the subjects 4, the Frenchman, and 5, the female, had not been observed leaving the target building after the hours of darkness unless accompanied by or later joining subjects 1-3 for specific activity. It was therefore concluded that subjects 4 and 5 both reside on the premises, a probability later confirmed by long-range surveillance. What happened to all remaining Team 1 personnel now seems clear. Further attempts to close surveil location Bravo have been suspended, pending enhanced development of mission-specific techniques. NB, greater coordination between initial surveillance and entry teams is recommended. Progression collateral, financial accuracy. Huh. Jesus, Jess, the ball's on you. 82%. Well, we'll see about that. Proper preparation and planning. Conclusion. Okay, we're going to stop here at 52. That'll be the end of the proper preparation. Well, I don't know how long this will be. Yeah. What the hell? We'll go one more and finish this up. 52. What's the matter, boy? Did no one ever tell you to shut your goddamn mouth before? Sit. Barbary Coast, Part 1. What the hell? Well, okay, so maybe that's... Okay, since we're going to go into a new issue, weird. I mean, that's what it seems to be, 52, and then... Okay, I guess that's where we're going to end it. We'll go on and do 100 proper. There we go. So, alright, guys. Do another 100 pages, and then we just have that last 90, which probably won't even be a full 90. So, we'll see how much we can do. But, at any rate, guys, we'll see you guys in May with more boys. So, stay tuned to Grimm's Comics Corner for the next parts of Volume 9.